Hey, Brian from Garage Hall. Today we are working on a 2018 Equinox, and we are actually going to be changing the rear rotors and brake pads on this vehicle. But first, let me go into the cabin of the vehicle and show you what you have to do first to retract the emergency parking brake back there. And I figured it was a great opportunity to show the Innovo 5160. It's this new OBD2 reader, but it does a whole lot more. Now, this 2018 Equinox has a rear emergency parking brake, but it's electronic. So it's this button that's right here. So basically, I don't know if you could hear that, but it engages and disengages the parking brake electronically. So I'm going to be doing the rear brakes on this. So I have to basically disengage the rear parking brake, or basically pull the piston in. So instead of extend it out, so I got to pull it in. So anyway, you have to get your vehicle into kind of like the AC mode for this to work. So normally if you hit the button once, it's going to be looking for you to, step on a brake and everything else, but you want to get into your AC mode. So basically, you hold the button in, and then it's going to switch into your basically like your AC mode, or kind of like if you had a key, which most of the new cars are getting away from, it has that second click over. So you got your or first. It depends on the model. Anyway, so we're going to hook up the OBD2. And we're actually going to shut the door so we get that chime to stop. So now, let me try to get this so we don't have too much glare in this. I think I'm going to turn my light off. So let's see if that makes the screen a little more readable. Alright, so I got the camera angle a little bit better here so you can see the screen. So basically, we have to put this into like a service reset mode. So on this 5160, we're going to hit the main menu. And that is going to bring us over to this next. And you want to go to service reset. So you want to toggle down to service reset. Hit enter. And then you're going to see down, you're going to see that EPB, emergency parking brake reset. So you want to go into that. And it's going to ask if that's your vehicle. Obviously, hit yes. And then it's going to go select chassis, and you hit enter. Electronic brake control module, you hit enter, and it's going to go into the module, and then you're going to go to rear caliper, piston, retract. Since I'm going to be changing the brakes on here, so it's linking with module, hit retract, and you can hear the motor running for the electronic parking brake. So now we're going to basically do a regular rear rotor and brake pad service, basically put new rotors and pads on. I'll run you through that so you can kind of see what the electronic parking brake looks underneath, how it retracted, and all that fun stuff. But in the meantime, we're going to actually disconnect this. We're going to exit out of this. Kind of weird with gloves on, pushing buttons. We're going to exit back out to the next menu. So when we're all done, we're going to hook the scanner back up, and then we're going to go into the rear caliper piston extend to put it back into its regular service mode of basically like driving mode. So stay tuned. I'm going to switch to another camera, and we'll do the brake job, and then we'll do this part at the end. All right. So first things first. Obviously, you have to get the rear wheel off after you did the in-cabin stuff of retracting the emergency parking brake. So we'll take these lug nuts out. Okay. I love my DeWalt impact tool. We'll get this wheel off. A little bit of a bounce. Holding it up here by the lift Okay, so this is the electronic parking brake I was talking about before, and that's where you want to do that, basically your retract of that piston. So I am going to be disengaging this wire back here anyway, even though we're disengaged. I'm basically going to push this little pin in here. So let me get my little handy dandy plier. I'm going to push that pin out. So now we can go ahead and release that wire from that parking brake. And it's just going to give us a little more maneuverability to move around, so we don't have to worry about that wire anymore, as it's attached to your caliper. So we want to do these 2 bolts here to basically get this caliper off first. So it's a 13 millimeter socket on that. So we will loosen that one up. Loosen the bottom one up. And I like my little toy, so we'll put this Milwaukee down here to expedite the things. Right, so that is your first bolt. We'll go down to the second one. Alright, so that's that. And caliper should slide out relatively easy. And just kind of slide that out of the way. I'll spray that down with some cleaner. I'll leave that there. Let's get some grease and grime off of that. And then next we are going to be removing this bracket here. There's a top bolt here to remove. And I think that, yep, that's an 18. Bolt loose, and I think we probably do this by hand real quick. Seems loose enough. All right, we'll take that bolt, put that there, and then we're going to be looking for the bottom bracket bolt, which is hidden back here. So we're not going to be able to really see it back here, but you'll be able to feel it. Again, not a lot of room to swing the socket wrench back here, but get it done. Alright, so to get into that back part, you need a little bit of a swivel. And you're going to be sneaking in back through here. And that will get that back bolt out for you. So it's not the easiest thing to get to in the entire world, but those are your rear pads, and I mean it is scored up pretty good. So we're going to replace that rotor as well. So this has a Torx setting on that. So let me go get my Torx bolts. I'll show you how to do that part. Alright, since this has a little bit of a, it's a Torx 30 is what you're looking for. And you are going to be loosening this. So you need a vessel impact tool. And then a couple hits, and then that will loosen that piece up. So you can easily get the rotor out. And most people, if you're doing this at home, a lot of guys drill this thing out. You want this in here. It does make life a lot simpler when seating a new rotor in there. And, you know, it's engineered to be on there, so definitely make it so you can put that back on. And then your rotor comes off. So that rotor's trash. I'll put this by the back door. We'll get your new rotor. And we're going to be lining that hole up there. So that's that. So let's put that set screw in there. And like I said, hand tight. You don't have to make it like superhuman tight in there. Okay, just slight torque on that. And we'll give it a quick shot of brake clean to get that protective grease off the rotor. And then we are going to be dealing with the brake pads. So let's pull these out. And if your kit has a new slide kit, definitely, you know, utilize that. Otherwise, you want to clean that up. And our brake shoes do not come with a new slide kit. So, I mean, again, that's okay. Because what we'll do is we'll get a little steel brush. And we'll clean these slides up. Get some of the dirt and corrosion off these guys. The other side. Okay, so those look pretty good. All right, and then what we'll do is we will, well, you want to check your feels a little, so we're going to pull these out. We're going to re-grease these with some brake lube. Let's give that a quick coat and push that back in. Okay, pull this one out. Some slide lube. Get that basically in and set. Then we'll get this top bolt, set that in loosely. Okay, like I said, the back one is going to be fun to try to get in. Go. Get that. I'll turn it a couple turns by hand, but more than likely we're going to have to get in here with this socket again. is a rather tight fit back there, but I think we're okay. We're going to put the Milwaukee back on this. Top one while we're here. Oops. Good thing my hand was there to catch that. Normally I have a Caliper hook, which I should be using, but that seemed like a good enough arm to sit on. I'm going to torque this. Change your brakes and stuff, you can hear them go pretty good. Okay, and then we are putting this piston back on. Now, a lot of times it's going to not be 100% pushed in. The e-brake is going to be retracted, but we're going to have to push this piston in just a little bit to clear the new rotors. Brake shoes, rather. We're going to find out what size. Alright, so you need one of these 3-pin tools for these new pistons. And basically what you're doing is you're just kind of like just giving it a couple spins in. And that will retract it enough that you can slide this back over your brake shoes and get it in there. And this is basically what the pin tool is. And sometimes these pins might be a little on the tight side, so you got to loosen up this little plate with a little Allen key to get the right position. But anyway, so now it slides in, and we can put our bolts back in. Hook this electronic part back up. That's nice and seated well. I'll just put a little wrench on there to help hold that in place. So, your rear brakes are done. Okay, so when we're all done, we go back to the menu and we go to Service Reset. Back down to the emergency brake. And then we're going to select yes. Chassis. Yep. Brake module. Yep. Okay, now we're going to go to rear brake caliper piston extend. It's going to connect with the module again. And then we're going to hit extend. Get that so you can see it. So you can hear that it's extended. So we're good to go. So we're going to hit exit. And we're good to go. Okay, and then just normal operation, start your car, hit this switch back and forth, to engage and disengage the park brake to make sure it is working properly, and then you are all done. Brian from Garage Mahal, be safe out there.